So we're ready now to define our character, and I have all my joints in place. I mean, look at my definitions there. My character has been named and all my joints have been placed. I'm certain that everything is mirrored and perfectly located, and I want to verify that my skeleton is working properly. One thing I'm going to just do one here on purpose. I'm going to rotate some of the joints here just to show if one of your joints is not correctly set, you'll have a little warning there, and it means you won't be able to generate a control rig or a rig for it. So you want to make sure that your arm is completely straight, your leg is completely straight, and so that everything is perfectly located and ready. I missed actually in my previous video doing one extra thing, and that is that I did not correct the orientation of the joints. Joints are pretty much set up to whatever the program told it to do. The arm seems to be correct, but the hand is not. So I want to correct that, and for that I'm going to use my orientation joint tool, and I'm going to try doing the same thing, X going down, and I'm going to have just Y positive to see if that does it. So I apply that, and then just, I'm sorry, not toggle that, but apply, and that way I get my joint to bend a little bit better according to what my orientation is. I'm going to do the same thing for all fingers, so the orientation is correctly set and all of them seem to be going in the right direction. Let me just double check the other hand. And the same manner I'm going to apply this. I'm going to apply those two. I have played with mirroring some of these things, and after a little while I'm not sure the mirroring does it perfectly, so I'd rather go manually and do it. This last joint is not as important, as you know already. The one that gives you weight control are the ones in the different figures. Alright, I have fixed that. Let me see, this guy actually is not doing it right. Let's see, this one is going in the other direction. That should do it, I think. But the X is going down in this case. I'm going to leave it like that for now and see how that works. I'm going to close this, and now I'm ready to move on to define my rig. So I'm going to go and under the source, I'm going to source a control rig. And what it does is it's going to generate a rig over those joints. What you look there, the yellow things are not the joints. They are just the definition of the deformers for those joints. The joints actually are shown separately. So this new interface is shown, appears here as definition, and these are the ways you can select the controllers for your character. Of course, the character is not animated yet, but you can animate the rig based on this. You can also animate individual controllers for bones, and you can go down and then you can pick on controllers for fingers and so on and so forth. So pretty useful. This one actually, which is up here, is the IK arm. So there's quite some savings. Now saving some time, I mean. There's one thing that these guys are just controllers, and you can also highlight them. For example, this one show the IK controllers, the one show the FK controllers. So for example, if I have the IK controllers, you can see the IK controllers there. So that means I should be able to control some of those things. Sorry, that's not working actually the way it is. this is the I show hide FK, show hide IK. So I'm hiding IK, showing the IK, showing and hiding FK. So the FK are actually these guys. Alright, and I also can show here the skeleton, so I can see my skeleton there. Those are the actual joins. And after that, these are the ways to show or to control the full body, or you can control parts of the body, or just so you can control individual components of the body. Those are just for you to have different controls, or ways of keyframing or working with them. I'll explain that a little bit more later. At this moment, I have my body rig almost ready, and you can see here, for example, that the foot has the IK set up, but it also there is an automatic thing that when this one goes down, the leg bends. So it's an interesting way of doing it, and we have a little bit extra set up there, and this one controls the toe. Alright, what I don't have is a head, and I need to create a rig for the head if I want to make it part of the same rig. I could rig the head separately, and for that we would have to do our own rig the same way we've done it before, or we can try creating a joint system for it right now. I'm going to do that right now to see how that works, and I'm going to just create my this is the neck controller. I'm going to have a head, an end of head join, and then I'm going to have here a jaw that is going to, of course, I'm sorry, escape that, the opposite direction would be better. And then of course I want to make that one a child of this one, and I want to rename those joints correctly. So this must be like a head joint, and head joint, and jaw, and jaw. Right, so I have those there, and now I can try connecting this one to this one just to parent directly, make sure that everything is perfectly centered, and it seems to be. So that way I have my head control to it, and you will rig the eyes exactly the same way we did with the traditional character, only in this case I'm going to bind my whole body to the hair. Even the hair can fit in there, and I actually can do the eyebrows too. I'm not going to do the teeth or the tongue or the eyes, and then I'm going to just do my binding. And in this case I'm going to try joint hierarchy, yes. I'm going to try geodesic and put just 3 joints of influence, and then apply or bind skin either way. Alright, I got a little mainline bindable objects must be selected. Maybe something didn't quite work the way I thought, but let's just give it a try now. So I have my, seeing that my joint worked, I'm going to just show my controllers, hide the joint, and then start working with the FK rig. And of course the rest of it is pure weight painting that you still have to go and do. You can always bring your bind pose or your rig pose by clicking this little guy. Okay, so now we also have the possibilities of when you are moving the character or when you are animating the character to work with these guys. And what it is this one allows you to control or keyframe and animate the full body. So for example, if I move this hand, because I'm working there, by moving the hand I move the whole body in a kind of IK way. So that gives me the chance to do sort of like some little animations that could mean interesting for my results. If I do only not a full body but just a body part, then that will just make it just connected to the arm and nothing else. So the rest of the body will be pinned, of course, individually to their component above. And this one actually is for you to pin and to work just in little components, so that you can almost pin them and you cannot move them or do anything with them. So everything's kind of like a locked there. Also the pinning also can be based on these guys. So you can turn on a pin and that will force it to, for example, if I have a pin here, I'm still in full body, and I try to move the IK, it behaves as if it was working only one component. That pin is just to allow me to kind of lock the character in certain poses so I can move and work on the arms or the legs or whatever I need to. Can release the pins there and can bring the character back to its binding pose. Alright, that is so far what we have about the control rig.